nocturnals inside ice. Disco Inferno doing a loop-de-loop in ice. What are you doing? On ice! I've got it to the pit! They've driven straight into the pit. The wheel got stuck at the edge. Ice tried to get away, loop-de-loop round, and went in. Sort of be swinging towards the pit, and Trillium might take this opportunity to try and get them into the pit. And Ice have done it themselves once more, in line with the pit, and then driving forward, getting one wheel stuck over the edge, and then swinging themselves around. And I don't think they're going to get out of there. A little bit, slamming them against the wall, and they're underneath the barrier again. And sure, I've just driven themselves into the pit. A full 360 drive, and then just decided, I've had enough. Finished myself off, and whoop, there we go, into the pit. And although Sparks have gotten themselves stuck once more, they're through to the next round. And that could be very dangerous if that gets hit, and Sparks have just, well, finished himself off. I mean, let's be honest, what could you do after an attack like that? I don't think you were really, whoa, Tombstone! It was very close to driving yourselves into the pit, but Sparks knew there was nothing they could do. The flipper was gone, the electronics were exposed, there was really only one thing left to do, and drive itself down the pit.
Activate!
And the start of Heat C goes underway. An atomic pushing Witch Doctor into the side. And Witch Doctor, what are you doing? They've driven straight into the pit! That's got to be the quickest KO I have seen thus far! Atomic backed away. Witch Doctor didn't know what happened, just went into a spin, tried to get away, bouncing ever so closely towards the pit, and then eventually, yep, in it goes, pushing away one of the panels. Oh, how about that? And they're in! They were doing so well! They just drove right over the top of the pit. The wheel was off, they were off balance. And then eventually getting some traction, backed up and into the pit. They were doing so well. The Siren gets on underneath and pushes Witch Doctor onto this lid. And it's pushed Witch Doctor in! Oh, what a great attack that was! Got underneath Witch Doctor and then bang! Straight against the arena wall. Witch Doctor sitting on the top of Siren. And then Siren just controlled itself. Got near the pit. Witch Doctor couldn't move. And then threw Witch Doctor into the pit. Almost going in themselves. But that was a great attack. And Xerox is really trying. And Siren, what are you doing? You're on the edge of the pit. Xerox, come in to the side. And it's finished them off. Siren is out of the competition. With a little bit of, I don't know what that was. They just drove straight towards the pit. A little bit of a spin here with there. But again, into the side of the pit. And then Xerox came into the side. And just all I needed was a little shove. And Siren went down. That's the third time Siren has went into the pit. Are not working in tandem. In fact, they're not really working at all. And Medusa has driven itself into the pit. Backwards, right over the edge of the pit. And then suddenly just drove forward and gone down. You're going to lose. Lambda pushing. And Penance has gone in the pit. After all of that, Penance has lost control. And you just see the googly eyes just looking, just way. And Lambda go through to the next round. Direct attack from them both. And one of the mice has gone into the pit. Oh, come on. Just right into the mouse hole where they knew that Lambda was pretty tough. So Lambda has only the one mice to attack, and now you don't. And Maurice, I think it is, just backs into the pit, into the mouse hole. Well, and close to that pit, and Medusa has gone in. Penance has got Medusa into the pit. They couldn't get round, just pushing against the wheels, stop them from moving, and as they edged ever so slowly, closely to the pit, and then Medusa just backed itself in and landed in the pit, just trying to get away, and another push it to the wall, and the mouse, and Maurice is in the pit. Oh, was doing well as well, and just dove into the pit. The mouse seems to be a little bit confused. I don't think Penance would need to be counted out, and they've done it! The mice have done it! The mice have gone through it. They have pushed Penance into the pit. And it's the Mischief Mice that go through to the semi-finals. Caused to Flatline and Rotator are very close to that pit. Will they go in? And they're in! Flatline just came along, nudged them, that was all they needed, and Rotator just backed in, one wheel over the edge, and that was it. Rotator landed in the pit with Flatline nearly going in themselves. What are you doing, lad? And they've knocked the mouse over again. You were doing so well, and then goes one of the mice. Well, it was inevitable, let's be honest. One of the mice had to just drive into the pit. And they're both at either ends of the arena. And Rotator, what are you doing? Rotator have driven straight into the pit. They backed up. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. I just went forward and straight in. Can Tombstone get them in? They just have to get them in. One final push. And Xerox are in. They didn't even need assistance. The axe was swinging. Tombstone were close enough to try and get them in. They did go for it. And Xerox just spun its wheels and backed into the pit. Lambda not managing to get that blade spinning up at all. And it's so close, and it's in the pit! Lambda have ended in the pit! They couldn't do anything. The wheels were spinning, but no one was really at home. The wheel just got over the edge of the pit, spun in, and that was it. And away a piece of armour went flying off. And staying away, a couple of hits, but they're not really doing anything as such. Staying away from each other. And Xerox have driven themselves into the pit! Oh, what were they thinking? They were doing so well! Drove forward, slid sideways, tried to get away, and they've ended up in the pit. Underneath as much, and oh, Trillium, they're in this time! Driving in, they must have tried to do the same trick twice, saying, hey, you can't get me into the pit. But eventually, the side went in, they were locked in, drove themselves in, one wheel spun, and that was it. They're both nearly in the pit. Who's going to go in first? And it's Tombstone that's in! Atomic managed to hang on, just bounced off the armour, the blade keeping them above, and Atomic were just one wheel off, hanging on. They were both in mid-air, and it was a case of who fell first. And after a short couple of seconds, it was Tombstone that moved, and they fell in first just after Atomic went forward. They weren't sure last time they fought, and they're close to the pit, and Trillium have knocked them in! Trillium have won the third place. Tombstone into the pit with just one nudge, the blade still sticking out, but Trillium have claimed the third place. Can they get them in before Atomic self-rights? And they're so close, and Atomic is in! Atomic's in the pit, Flatline threw Atomic right over, landed on its back, and then it was a case of, can Atomic self-right? No! And Flatline came along with that final push, and they're trying to get back on her wheels, caused Atomic to fall in at an angle. That's them in the pit, and Flatline are the champions!